Hey all, this is Eucep again. Today I'm going to see about Swindle. Swindle from the animated line to be exact. He did appear in the cartoon and he was a haggler, a very good haggler. But also, he was after some parts, mainly the key to make a super weapon. That didn't turn out too well. I think it's partly due to using the human villains to do the work for him. But oh well. He eventually got caught and has been transported off to Cybertron, but apparently he escaped in the ship and upgraded some of the Decepticons which went along with him as well, especially giving some new hats or at least helmets to some of Starscream's clones, which I thought was hilarious. I haven't actually seen it, but I saw the images of it, so yeah. This guy is a merchant, so he has a lot of things going for him, and mainly of it is weapons and more weapons. As you can see, he obviously has one big weapon. This is pretty much a homage to how he was in his G1 counterpart, where he had that huge weapon himself. Can pack only into a port, a bit off center on top of him. Overall, he looks fairly nice and very convincing. You do notice some paint differences. That's due to using either clear parts which are painted over or actual that molded in color. I really dislike these black lines up on top of him. I'm actually probably going to get his Repro label set, which hides these black parts, makes his nose purple more, and hides the Decepticon symbol, because frankly put, he isn't a Decepticon, he is a freelancer. But oh well, for the toy he can be forgiven. He lacks some paint application of windows in the rear. He should have had really a lot more paint applications. But I think paint is one of the few things where they can really save on things, I guess. Now he does have a nice transformation, but I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to skip to his robot mode. And here we have Swindle in his robot mode. Now this one also is very reminiscent of his G1 counterpart. Except for the fact that he has a floppy chest, which is probably my major concern with this figure, is the fact that this does not lock together at all on my figure. No matter what I try, it will always keep falling open, to the degree that I'm almost considering just gluing him stuck in place. It's that bad. But otherwise, detail wise and everything, this guy is just awesome. So let's go over some of his parts. Let's start out with this head sculpt, because not only does it resemble his G1 self with being so blocky, but also, being the salesman he is, he actually wears a tie. I think that's a detail which is just utterly brilliant. He also has some of the most spectacular light piping ever. Due to the way it's shaped, that you can actually see his pupil. I'm not sure if I can get it to work on both eyes at the moment, but yeah, at least on one you can see it currently. It's just an awesome effect. So let's move on. He has some curious hands, pretty much big huge claws, but it does give him some posability there. with his fingers being able to move as part of the transformation, which is nice. So if he had been given anything which he could hold, that would have been nice, but he doesn't. The only accessory he has is his cannon, which is a color changer if you have the missile, but I've stored the missile away, and you probably have seen a video of him with the ability to do that. It clicks in there quite nicely. You can optionally peg it back into his rear, but it doesn't work too well, especially because you have to spread out his wings. I must say, the the joints in his arm aren't tight enough to properly hold up the cannon. He will slowly fall down over time, I noticed. You can somewhat solve it by locking it up like this, then it works somewhat. At least that's on the case of mine, because this cannon just is plain heavy. He does have decent articulation. I'm not really going to go into that because it's frankly put enough, except for his legs. This is as much Perceptor kick as you can get out of him. Not much this. But let's go back to his weapon. This is his main gun, but he does have some more. You have these things on his back, which he used in the cartoon as well, as far as I know, or as I remember, let's say it that way. And of course the infamous chest chain gun. So heavily armed indeed. He actually should have some cannons in his hand, at least replace them, and I'm not really sure what else I've seen him use, but he is a walking weapons factory as far as I can tell, because of how many he has. Personality wise, character wise, design wise, I think this is one of the most successful toys of Animated, and I was really pleased that they actually made him into a toy. Anyway, this was Eucep. See you next time.